And meaning this is going to be our library. It'll be stored here. So give me a second here as it goes live. And I'm gonna try to be brief here. 6:12. So um, all right. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. All right, live chat is on there. I got a delay here, so I don't know what I can do about that delay. Um, let's come out of this and let me just go back to Zoom, and hopefully that delay won't be recorded. All right, so hopefully that delay won't be recorded, but if it is, I'll do better next time. It is Wednesday, and I'm hoping people don't start calling. Let me try to stop that because when people call me, it really knocks off the live stream. It knocks it off. So, all right. So anyway, today is Wednesday, March 26th. It's the last Wednesday of the month, 2025. And I got several things I want to update you guys about. And for the most part, uh, I got a declaration to make. I'm gonna try to justify it over the Zoom, but to Black people all around the world, I just want to comfort you that our time is coming. The time to do right by humanity is coming. The justice that has eluded us for a long time is coming, and it's some work that we got to do though. It's some things that we have to do. I'm a firm believer that what's easy should be easy. And I believe that God is telling Black people that if you make pulling together $1 difficult, you're going to stay going around in circles as a people. We've made tremendous progress thanks to our ancestors who came before us, but we could do a whole lot better, a whole lot quicker. But we had to look in the mirror when it comes to the lack of trust and faith and positivity and constructiveness that we operate from, especially when it comes to pulling money together. Money is like blood, it must circulate. Money is like blood, it must circulate. Either circulate or you suffocate. Blood clots can kill. And so when we talk about why 46 million Black people in this country haven't agreed to pull together $1, that's very telling. And it's telling. We have a lot of challenges laid in front of us, which is why that doesn't happen. But I just want to let people know we have a structure. Something exists for us to use to improve our way of life around the world. But before you believe that, you have to know where we're at. We are up against structures and systems, and then individually we react to those structures and systems. So I wrote this down so that it can better crystallize in your thought process. So structure is dad being at home. Um, the system is dad taking his son to school 3 of the 5 days each week. All right. Dad at home is the structure. Dad taking his son to school 3 or 5 days each week is the system. Get that? Structure is the makeup. Dad is at home. System is what he's doing, actions. And then individually, dad loves it. Son is okay with it. Individually is typically what motivates you, inspires you. So let me say that again. That's SSI, structure, system, individual. SSI, not Social Security, but structure, system, individual. And too often in this day and age, with this technology the way it is right now, we get so caught up on the individual side. We've been fighting since we've been here. Our ancestors have been fighting. The question for Black people is, what have we built? What have we built? We've been fighting. What have we built? And I'm going to say this, and I give more context to it. Where we stand right now, we can change the whole world from a Black perspective with us agreeing to pull together $1. The spirit in some people who doubted that right there, instead of being more inquisitive to hear more, is what I'm talking about. We doubting something that's so small and easy, and it says more about you than me. It says more about you than the hope and belief that 46 million people pulling together $1 can make a difference. And so I want to challenge us on that, because that's what it is. What exists right now is predictability and guaranteed audiences. I don't care what problem you come up with, education, safety, senior citizens, the raw reality is the 46 million Black people in this country coordinating together is key. Universal, whether we dealing with education or safety, Black people coordinating together is key. Why? Because the enemy, the first thing you do to your enemy is you isolate them. We call it ISE, isolate, starve, and exploit. ISE, isolate, starve, and exploit. We've been isolated, we've been starved, and we've been exploited and continue to be. So when you have that, one of the worst things we can do is to self-isolate even more. But given the temperature inside the oven is so hot, we run away from each other instead of running in coordination with each other. The good news is we built something that allows us to use something that's unstoppable. We got something that's unstoppable, which is time. Time. I don't care how rich you are, which billionaire you are, time will run out for you. Time will run out. You can't buy more time that way. So you will expire. We all will expire. So the question is, what are we building? We've been fighting. What are we building that can continue on when we're physically not here no more? And so I'm going to break this down to you so that it can hopefully make sense. January through December is the whole year. All right. I get it. 13 months. I hear that. We talking about the 12 months here. January through December. That's 12 months. Based on your last name, similar to a broken clock, we had to create something that only requires Black people to do something twice. Just like a broken clock is right twice a day without doing nothing. Because we're under so many attacks, it was imperative not to expect too much from our people. We're fighting to survive every single day. So twice a year, that's every 6 months, January through December. That's the whole year. So based on your last name, we can tell you the every 6 month period for every single one of us, A to Z. All right. That matters because, again, what's our unstoppable tool? Time. So January through December covers the whole time, right? We have something called 7 daily living habits. Every Sunday, family day, Monday, safety day, Tuesday, education day, Wednesday, economic day, Thursday, health day, Friday, senior citizens day, Saturday, youth day. If you're living, you're in one of those days. Today is Wednesday, economic day. So we got every day of the week covered. I just gave you with your last name every month covered. Now we got every day covered, 7 days. We got every last name covered, A to Z. All right. So we got something that no matter where you are, no matter what your last name is, no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what month it is, we have a process now that will allow us to be all inclusive. Now, let me give you this. We have so many attacks. All right, it has so many attacks. But what we are missing is something called RAY, retirees, adults, and youth. It's really called ARAY, ancestors, retirees, adults, and youth. The difference between the retirees and the adults is retirees are free to speak their mind. Adults in the professions, they have to be careful what they say. They might lose their job. Retirees not worried about that. So when you think about the 46 million Black people in this country, think about where are our retired carpenters, our adult carpenters, and our 15-year-olds that love playing with wood. In this country, where are our retired nurses, adult nurses, and 13-year-olds that want to become a nurse? Across this country, where is our teachers that's retired? Teachers that are in their prime and teach 16-year-olds that want to be teachers. RAY, the retirees, adults, and youth, allows us to cover every profession. So step back, think of what I shared so far. I gave you SSI, structure, system, individual. The structure is the makeup of something, how something is organized. Dad in the house, that's organized. He's one part of the parent household, all right? The system is the verb, the action, the doing. And then individual is basically how you feel, how it's impacting you, how you respond. We, as Black people, been fighting in this country. And what we built, we haven't built it nationally. So we got pockets of success. We're talking about how do we get something that's universal in this country? And that's why I gave you the concept of time that's unstoppable. So now, if we have all the days, 7 days covered, we had the 365 days of the month covered or the year covered, and then we got every last name covered, That gives us the right ingredients to include the 46 million Black people. Now, the key is, can we pull together our money? That's the key. Now, we got all type of great organizations asking, needing money. We get that. You need money to operate. Money is like blood again. It must circulate. But based on your zip code is how we can contain and measure. Contain and measure matters when we talk about trust. If I'm in LA and I give money and I see you giving money away in Chicago, I'm gonna have questions. But if you're giving the money away in 947 zip code and that's where it came from, I feel a little bit better. So the accountability ties back to your zip code. Everyone in this country is in a zip code because of the post office has to be able to deliver to every single address. So anyway, based on what I shared with you, uh, where are we going and what can we expect? And I said the two challenges that we have in front of us is predictability and guaranteed audiences. The guaranteed audiences represent knowing who's the carpenter, bricklayers, teachers, nurses, block by block, zip code by zip code. That knowing that gives us a guaranteed audience. All right. Remember, the two things we have to overcome is predictability because everyone is busy and all over the place. So we got to have scheduled, predictable time on when we can expect things to take place. We need to have the audience, the people. All right. If we talk about something dealing with education, where are our teachers? Where are our students? So that guaranteed audience of teachers and students by zip code gives us that. If we're talking about something dealing with health, do we have that guaranteed audience by zip code of where the nurses are, the retiree nurses, the adult nurses, and the children that want to become nurses? That puts us in a winning position. So now, what I frame to you is, it sounds good. All right. Who's going to manage it? If you notice, I haven't even told you the name of the organization yet. Been on here almost 12 minutes, haven't told you the name of the organization yet because it doesn't matter. The only way it matters is legally when we're talking about pulling the dollars together, it needs to go somewhere. And so that's the only legal part. But what I've given you so far is structure and systems. Structures and systems. The 7-day living habits is a system. That's a verb. You do something. Monday is safety day. You check your smoke alarm. Every Monday. That's systematic. You do that. And when you dead and gone, the rest of the household can do it because it's something that we get to pass down generation to generation. So the guaranteed audience and the predictability. What this is going to allow us to do with organizations as well is every single month we can pick which people based on their last name, and if it's their 6-month term, can donate and support your non-for-profit, your church. And we know we're not burning them out because we only ask them to do something every 6 months. So we got the whole year covered with a guaranteed audience. Okay. Now, if we have our people doing the $1 to the structure that put this whole thing together, now we got $46 million. Let's just say half of us do it. 23 million people do it instead of the 46 million. $23 million. Well, why is it going to you? Well, it's going for your zip code. That's how we hold it accountable. So out of $23 million, how much of it came from 60623? And if 50,000 came from that zip code, how do we make sure at least 40,000 is being spent there? Because we got to use some of that money to help the bigger picture out. So anyway, structure, system, individual. Now I have this statement to make, and it's important for people to know because we've been doing this work for a long time. We got this down to a science, we believe. Between January and March, we call that our recruiting season because people still hibernated in the house due to the weather. So during the recruiting season, it's all about phone networking and making sure people are referring family and friends throughout the nation. Every person you refer, we get to find out their last name. We get to find out what they do for a career. And with that information, it allows us to create that guaranteed audience by zip code. So that's powerful, powerful, powerful. Any money collected, money spent inside the zip code. We also have every profession, carpenters, bricklayers, plumbers, nurses, teachers, you name it, linked to one grade, kindergarten through 12th grade. For instance, all 8th graders have barbers and lawyers attached to them financially. So if you're an 8th grade parent and you're helping with this $1 concept, you can expect that the barbers and the lawyers in your zip code or close to your zip code will be there for you if you get in an emergency and you need help with your 8th grade child. All plumbers have 12th graders. If you're getting your plumbing work done by plumbers who don't have a process like that, you pay them and the money leaves the community, doesn't make that much sense. Paying a plumber that's in this type of process ensures that some 12th grade parent is going to see support for their child. So think about what this means for us going forward. We talking about residents pulling together $1 to support a global structure. I'm talking national right now. I haven't gone international part. Residents get to support a national structure instead of all these pockets. We support the pockets based on the last names and when we take turns supporting our partners. So the residents do that. The businesses, every Wednesday, daily habit, predictable time, Wednesday, we buying and supporting Black-owned businesses because it's Economic Day. Why give money to businesses and people who don't care about our conditions? So that's what that allows you to do. So residents give the money to the businesses. Businesses give the money to the grade that they're being assigned to. All nurses have fifth graders. All landscapers have fourth graders. Police also have fourth graders. Firefighters have second graders. The point is, every profession is linked to every grade, K through 12th grade. This ensures that our students have financial support, and that financial support can be in tutoring, travel, you name it, it's there for them. That makes sense. That makes sense so that the dollar is circulating and not suffocating. So, giving you that wide range process, January through March is our recruiting season. April into Memorial Day, May is our, I hate to say it, but that's our biggest training period. And training is a part of this video here, so you can kind of hear the concept and hopefully take some part of ownership of it. Memorial Day is the first test. Memorial Day is people time off. That's when we see a lot of violence. And the biggest test is 4th of July weekend. So June 30th is the last day before the 4th of July weekend typically takes place. So every June 30th is our deadline to see if we have enough momentum to predict that we're going to finally get over this hump. Since we've been at this 30 years now. It's my prediction that by Tuesday, June 30th next year, that we're going to finally be able to sit back and celebrate because the structure, the system, and our individuals are now trained and comfortable with the process to improve Black life all around the world. Yep, I said it. Tuesday, June 30th, next year. All right. That's 431 days from now, because literally it's work that has to be done to get us to that point. By this June 30th, 2025, we have to have 1,000 people donate $1 electronically. That's minimum stuff, but it's also the first step. If we don't do the first step, we can't get to the other steps. So 4 groups of 250 people doing that $1 is how we get there. Those 4 groups can be West Side, South Side, East Side. Those 4 groups could be 4 churches. It could be however, but those 4 groups of 250 people all electronically moving, it allows us to make easy. It's $1. It's 4 quarters. It's no excuse. So when we get Black people, and this is the spiritual battle on why people won't do it, almost 30 years why they haven't done it, it's because we had to be able to have a narrative that shows that we did it already. And once we show we did it, now we can start moving to Milwaukee, then Detroit, then St. Louis, getting them to do the same thing, get their 1,000 people. That's 4 groups of 250. We just keep methodically moving so that now nationwide we have Black trust, because that's what this represents, Black trust. And because they're seeing their 12th graders getting award money from the plumbers, they're seeing 8th graders getting award money from the barbers. Now there's a spirit over Black community that yes, we can, and that we are doing it. We're seeing students winning. We're seeing businesses get new business on Wednesday. We're seeing the elders being taken care of on Friday. Now we starting to feel better. All of it is based on time. Everything I've been saying, time-based. Friday, seniors. All right. Barbers being linked to 8th graders and when they give their money, which is the first Wednesday of the month. That's something that nobody can take away from us once you know the time. So here's what we need from you. It's called AR1. AR1. AR1 is awareness. I'm making you aware now. The R is for remembering, and the 1 is $1. So we need to make people aware. We need them to remember, and I'm going to tell you what to remember, and release the $1 to us electronically. So let's talk about the remembering. As I look at the state of our community all around the world, to me, Black Americans hold the key. This country economy is robust, the most robust in the world, and it's mainly because of our consumerism. And I hate to say it, Black people are the biggest consumers, Black women in particular. So that means you hold the key. You hold the key. Black people in this country, 46 million, is bigger than Spain, 42 million. Their GDP in Spain, the country of Spain, that got all the people in Latin America speaking Spanish, their economy is $1.4 trillion, their GDP. Black people spend $1.6 trillion. So we got more people, got more money. Okay. But they're a nation with embassies, with military, with schools. We inside of America with none of that. So we have a problem. But knowing that if we coordinate together, we can do for self. The issue is doing for self. Grants are cool. Do your grants. I care about us doing for self, because what that means is we have a certain amount of confidence of yes, we can. We have a certain amount of confidence that we can trust each other. And that's the key. And with time, we don't have to worry about time expiring, because what we talked about, it keeps happening when we dead and gone. The enemy, they can't stop time either. So there's no infiltration to stop anything, because can't stop Black people from loving the elders on Friday. Can't stop Black people from buying Black on Wednesday. So it's too late. The key is the structure exists, the systems exist. Now you as an individual will hopefully become aware, remember, and then donate the $1. So now let's talk about, and then I'm gonna get into the next months too. June 30th is the deadline for that. So that's the testing season. So we went through recruiting season, training season, test. The summertime is the test to see if we really are ready to come together, because people are outside. And then after that, it's the review season, October, November, December. So I just want y'all to have that in terms of what needs to happen every single year, no matter what. But going back to the AR1, awareness, remembering, $1. What we want to see, or what needs to happen with remembering, because again, we've been fighting. What have we built? And building is remembering, because the structure exists already. The building part, which we need to do, we've been fighting. The building is you remembering. And people remember what's important to them. What's important to them. And too often, I watch people blow this off. They blow it off. The only block by block structure that has us linked together internationally, we blowing it off. What do I mean by that? Every single one of our zip codes has one of those career fields attached to it, and one day out the month to do their audit, their summit, their check-in. So when you miss that day, or if you don't know about that day, it's on to the next month. It's only 12 times a year. So remembering is everything when you talk about us making sure that this national and international system can work. You got to remember. So today is Gary, Indiana, once a month. So the people that came out today to Gary to become aware and hopefully set up their systems to remember and release their $1, perfect. Gary, Indiana is linked to Namibia in Africa. We just sent some money to Namibia in Africa, our pennies to Africa. All right. So that's real. We have a Black leather shoemaker out there, Nelson, that we sent support to. And they're linked to the US from a G20 standpoint. Also, all of the Gary and Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, they're responsible for all authors and administrators or clerical people. So this is day one day out the whole month. This won't come up again until next month on the fourth Wednesday. So if our people in Bronzeville, Chicago, Namibia, and Gary, Indiana, if they don't remember the fourth Wednesday, what we built don't work. That structure falls apart because the people who need to participate don't remember. Now you remember what's important to you. So people that was important to you, create a calendar invite, you put it on your refrigerator. So we need that degree of commitment. And what I wanted to do on this video was to emphasize how crucial the remembering is. It's the fact that we're not remembering and we're not releasing a dollar while we're worried about an American political figure in power right now. Remember, our ancestors went through far worse, so nobody is going to be able to do worse what was done to our ancestors. That blood runs through us, so we shouldn't be putting so much energy there instead of that $1.6 trillion that we have internalizing it. And the Wednesday habit, Wednesday habit, it's good for us to do that. So, I just laid something out to you guys that truly took 30 years to build. Took 30 years to build. And so I'm hoping it hits your spirit and you're able to meditate on and say, this just makes sense. This is practical stuff. This ain't something that's just outrageous. Why won't we do this? Let me do it. Let me get my family to do it. We have a guy who just met on Sunday. He's already made phone calls, got people he know on the phone to become aware and release the money. So he's been on fire. He's gotten over 9 people who did it. We talked to double that. And so this is what it's going to take from you. We had to say, why not? What else? And if you have your own non-for-profit, you have your own church, good. We need that. And with the concept, we're going to be able to support that too, but we're going to put it on the schedule. So that way we have that predictability. All right. My number is area code 312-405-8844. That's 312-405-8844. I purposely didn't say the name of our amazing organization. Don't feel the need to do it right now either, because I want us to meditate on what information I did share. So I'll tell you that later. For those who know me, you know the organization name. But more importantly, it's SSI, Structure, System, Individual. We've been fighting. It's a matter of what have we built. Remembering is part of building because it's already built. So when you remember what's been built, now we can use it to ensure that every single day this structure and system is rotating, improving the lives of our people. I'm going to do another video later to talk about CATS, conventions, awards, tours, and summits, ITR, information, travel, and real estate. We'll do that on another video. Didn't want to make this too long. Started at 6:12. It's 6:38, so that was 26 minutes to talk.